Nasty. The Bakerloo Flea.
Warning! This is a horror story.
Back in the 1970s, I was in a pub round the Elephant and Castle, and I got talking to a woman, an oldish woman, and we were talking about this and that, and she said she used to be a cleaner down the underground. I didn't know, but it seems as if every night, after the last tube, they switch the electric current off and teams of night cleaners go through the underground, along the tunnels, cleaning up all the muck, rubbish, crisp packets that we chuck onto the lines. They sweep out between the lines on one station and then, in a gang of about 6 or 7, walk on to the next station along the lines in the tunnels. Anyway, this woman, I don't know her name, she says to me, "Did you ever hear talk of the Bakerloo Flea?" "Bakerloo Flea?" I said. No, never. "Well," she said, "you know there are rats down there, yeah, down the underground, hundreds of them. And the thing is," she said, "is that some of them have grown enormous, huge, great big things." "Oh, I've heard of them," I said, "yeah. Super rats." "Right," she says. "Now you tell me," she says, "what lives on rats?" "Fleas, right, yeah? Fleas. So, the bigger the rats, the bigger the fleas. Stands to reason. These rats, they feed on all the old garbage what people throw down on the lines. It's amazing what people throw away, you know." She told me they found a steak down there once, lipstick, a bowler hat, beads, a box of eggs, and hundreds of sweets, especially Maltesers and those balls of bubble gum you get out of slot machines. Anyway, the rats eat these, get big, and it seems that one day they were working the old Bakerloo line, Elephant and Castle to Finchley Road, and just before Baker Street, one of the women in the gang was looking ahead, and she screamed out, Look, what's that?" Up in front was a great grey spiky thing with huge hairy legs and big jaws. It was as big as a big dog. No, bigger. And the moment she screamed, "Ah!" it jumped away from them, making a sort of grating, scraping noise. Well, they were scared stiff. But they had to finish the job, so they carried on up the line to Finchley Road, but they didn't see it again that night, or the next. Some of them thought they'd imagined it, because, it can get very spooky down there. They sing and shout a lot, she told me, and tell saucy jokes, not fit for my ears. Anyway, about a fortnight later, at the same place, just before Baker Street on the Bakerloo line, suddenly one of them looks up and there it was again, a great big grey spiky thing with long legs and big jaws. "It's a flea, sure to God, it's a flea," one of them said. The moment it heard this, whoosh, again it jumped. Again they heard this scraping, grating sound, and it disappeared down the tunnel in the dark. They walked on, Baker Street, St John's Wood, Swiss Cottage to Finchley Road. Nothing. Anyway, this time they had a meeting. They decided it was a flea, a gigantic flea, and it must have grown up from a family of fleas that had lived for years and years, growing bigger and bigger, sucking the blood of all the fat rats down there. So they decided that it was time to tell one of the high-ups in London Transport, as it used to be called, or they wouldn't go down there any more. For a start off, no one would believe them. "Just a gang of women seeing things in the dark," the supervisor said. "Right," one of them had a bright idea. She said, "I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll tell them that we're coming out on strike, and we'll tell the papers about the flea, the Bakerloo Flea. It'll be a huge scandal. No one will dare go by tube. It'll be like a national scandal." So they threatened the manager with this, and this time the high-ups really moved. They were so scared the story might get out and they'd be blamed, and one of them would lose their jobs. So for a start, they stopped all cleaning on the Bakerloo line, and one of the high-ups went down the tunnel with the women. You can just see it, can't you? 4 a.m, a gang of 6 women with feather dusters, and one of the old bowler hat and briefcase brigade walking down the tunnel on the hunt for the Bakerloo Flea. Sounded incredible to me. Anyway, it seems as if they came round that same corner just before Baker Street, and the women had gone quiet, and the bloke was saying, "If this is a hoax, if this is a trick," when they heard that awful, hollow, scraping noise. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to this channel, well, you can click on subscribe. If you want to like something, just click on like. And you can leave a comment as well, that's always nice. And don't forget my website, Michael Rosen, all one word, michaelrosen.co.uk.